What's the matter, Tigger? What's going on, growers and homesteaders? I eventually, when I get my stuff together, I want to make a proper channel where we do like proper videos with good production quality and stuff, but I don't really know how to do that. So this is really just an avenue to get my thoughts out. And if somebody sees it and has some ideas, I'm listening. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about today was the reason why I'm not doing anything with this, which I feel like I'm going to have to anyway. But it's just out of control. I don't want to rip it all out. What I want to do is pull all this out, pull these rocks back, get that landscape fabric that did nothing out. I'm not a fan. And I'm going to lay down cardboard, compost, way more than I put back there, that's for sure. I'll lay down cardboard and compost. I'm gonna leave most of these plants here, I'll put little shields around them and keep everything back. And then I'm gonna grow sweet potatoes. I'm just gonna put a bunch of sweet potatoes in here as a ground cover. Not worried about the potatoes. I mean, sure, maybe we'll harvest some sometimes if the season allows for it or whatever, but we just want the leaves. I've seen other people use that. I thought it looked really nice. And it'll take care of this weed cover, for the most part. Block out most of the weeds to grow around the rest of this stuff. So that's my plan there. That's why I'm not doing anything with it, because I'm going to do the whole thing at the end of the season. And the reason why I'm waiting for the end of the season is because these are pretty thick, and I'm told they need thinned out. So I'm gonna rip all these out. See, I think I might put a bed of them in containers, but covering like a whole bed's worth out here over the winter. And sell as many as I can, or propagate them, or I'm not sure yet. Replant a few of them, maybe even expand it. I tried to put some here, and then the drought hit, and I don't know, I just don't think I watered them enough. I had two things here, daffodils, I forget what those are, lilies or something, daisies, daylilies, I don't know. I really have to look that up. Once again, no way do I regret going to school for anthropology. Anthropology is awesome, and I learned a lot, but if I would have known some gardeners and growers and agroforesters, this is what I would have done. I've always wanted to be a wizard of the woods. So yeah, I wish I could identify plants better. What are you doing, puppers? Some berries I'm about to put in. Strawberries. I got 50 strawberries on the way. I'll show you guys. But there's just a different variety, some raspberries, purple and red. Some kiwis in there, and a different, another variety of strawberries. And then here I'm gonna put these together. Basically, I'm making a table. These are the only 4 I got. I got some scrap lumber. And I'm gonna put the chicken wire on a table. I'll put some support out here. Put the chicken wire on it and use it to dry the lettuce. That's my plan with that. Yeah, once again, I don't know if you guys remember my first video or whatever, but I was watching Growfully with Jenna, and she kind of said the same things about no dig. It's not as easy here as you might think, and like I thought I was putting this thick, but I don't know. She says it just blows away in the wind because it was a lot thicker. But here's where, about right there, is where the ground starts. So yeah, maybe like an inch. And I mean, it was halfway up my hand when I put it down. So it all just dried up and blew away or something. I did not put it thick enough. Did not. Or it just like sunk into the clay. I don't know. Anyway, the weed pressure has been not worth the effort. Lost my train of thought. Ooh, I bought a little torch. Seen somebody, I forget who, he used that to open up holes on the tarps, and that's way better than a knife. Way better. I mean, I already had those holes cut and then just burned them open, but still. See, I bought these trees from, this is the status I just put, I bought these trees from fastgrowingtrees.com, and they're healthy trees. I don't want to disparage the company. I don't know enough to disparage the company. But like, you know, it's designed for beginners, and you get these trees, these branches, if I take these ropes off, these branches shoot straight up in the air. I don't know, this one looks pretty slack actually. This one might have trained itself, because I've had some of these branches trained down since last year. And that one looks like actually, I could just leave that. Anyway, they were straight up in the air, No other way to describe it. And like, I'm a beginner, you know what I mean? The site's designed for beginners. I don't really know. I don't recommend it if you're new. They're very well established trees that would have grown fruit in the first year if I didn't put them in the fall. But I don't know if it's worth it. Some of you more experienced people can get with me on that. My neighbor's project cars. Got a little dune buggy, just brought it in yesterday. Maybe I should edit that out. Anyway, yeah. Fastgrowingtrees.com. The trees are healthy. Well, I mean, not really, but they're growing fine for what it's worth. They seem to be growing fine. That one looks like it could come off too. But I don't know what I'm doing. I need a bushy tree, not 5 branches sticking straight up in the air like that one right there. If I take them ropes off, those will go straight up and down. Straight up and down. Anyway, I don't see any growing. Oh yeah, they're there. Okay, so, you know, these are growing pretty voraciously. I've been picking them, eating them, stepping them in pretty voraciously. Growing strawberries here, so I'm just gonna make this whole section. I'm gonna wait until this peppers and these tomatoes have produced for me enough that I don't feel too bad about getting them out of here. And I'm gonna extend this swale to the top of the hill. I'm gonna make this whole section next year is gonna be a strawberry patch. I got about 50 plants on the way. carrots. I just, people use the board technique, and where am I gonna get a board that long? So I just tarped them for a couple days. Just kept checking on them. It worked great. You know, I seeded them. I wet it down real good, real well. And I put this over top of them, and then I just made sure to keep it nice and wet. You know, just once a day I watered it, I believe. In the deep, deep part of the heat. Cucumbers are growing fine. There's a couple fruits on them. It's probably too many. I definitely feel like it's too many, but I'm really just trying to get roots in the soil. This year is not important for production for me. I really just want to get roots down past that. I don't know if you see my last videos, there's like this much mud and then just clay. And I want to get the roots down past that, down into that clay, and start breaking it up so we can really like hold moisture here better. Well, I don't know if that's the right terminology. Okay, so for instance, if I come down here, and I have to water these transplants, they'll be showing definite signs of water stress. You know what I mean? Like getting real droopy, wilted almost, you know what I mean? And then I water them and they perk right back up, you know, definite signs of water stress. But I'll reach down in here before I water them, and I mean, it's fine. Look, I mean, that's plenty wet. It's just fucking clay, because this is double dug, or triple dug, as what I would want to call it, hugelkultur. So I dug out the top layer, put it aside. Then I dug out the next layer down of just solid clay, put that aside, threw down some of this old rotten wood over here, a couple year old rotten wood over here. Cut some leaves and stuff, threw that on top of it, flipped the soil layer back on top of that, and then put the clay on top of that and planted into it. And I've just been using like compost tea, fetid swamp water, diluted swamp water, just to, you know, put some fertility, just to make sure there's fertility in here. That's what all these are. And then when I can get a BCS, when I've earned enough to get a BCS, I want to make proper beds everywhere, and then move to no dig. But we gotta really get roots down into this soil. Is the first priority. That's why I left again. That's why I left all this up, and I think I'm gonna come through it once now in the height of the summer, because it'll all grow back by the fall. And if I mulch it down, I don't know if that'll kill everything though. I don't know. Maybe I'll run a little trial run right here and see what happens. I'll take this down like this. But see, look how long this is taking to grow back. I don't want that blight. So I don't know. I'm not sure how I want to handle that yet. But I got to get some organic matter in here, because this all floods. All right, I think that's about my time. Can't think of anything else. Thanks for coming. Ohio, Zone 6A, July something. fertilize something.